mind if Trump followed through with the tariffs. Cohn had lobbied against them internally. The biggest problem here was not that Cohn lost a policy battle, because when you're in the administration, of course, sometimes you're going to lose policy battles. That's just the way that it goes. The president of the United States makes the final call. Everybody else works for him. But the problem here is that Trump was having meetings off the books with Wilbur Ross, the Commerce Secretary, as well as with Peter Navarro. He wasn't actually letting his national economic advisor know. And then he went directly around him and announced a tariff without any supporting structure in place. So he's talking about tariffs. There's not a single executive order, not a single piece of legislation, not a single policy paper that's been put out explaining what exactly Trump wants here. He just went out there and said, I want tariffs, and tariffs there shall be. And suddenly Gary Cohn was out in the dark. So Gary Cohn has his authority entirely undercut, which is the real reason that he's leaving. Trump gave a statement to the New York Times, said, Gary has been my chief economic advisor and did a superb job in driving our agenda, helping to deliver historic tax cuts and reforms and unleashing the American economy once again. He's a rare talent, and I thank him for his dedicated service to the American people. He's expected to leave in coming weeks. That means that in the past few weeks, Rob Porter is gone, Hope Hicks is gone, Josh Erfel in comms is gone, Gary Cohn is gone, McMaster is apparently on his way out as well. So the turnover in the Trump administration is extraordinarily high, and this is having a pretty marked impact on the market. So the markets right now are responding with a lot of trepidation to how this is going. And it is amazing. If you look at the pictures of the Trump administration and its early iteration, and you see all the people who are standing next to Trump, virtually everyone is gone. Mike Flynn is gone. Katie Walsh is gone. Sean Spicer is gone. Hope Hicks is gone. Reince Priebus is gone. Steve Bannon is gone. And now Gary Cohn is gone. And everybody is basically gone at this point. And not only that, because Trump likes governing through chaos, because he likes that, apparently, according to a number of sources, President Trump was freeing up Anthony Scaramucci to go on cable news and take shot after shot at John Kelly, the White House chief of staff. According to CNN, the president has emboldened Scaramucci, the former communications director, another guy who was in the administration and was there for 5 seconds. He was fired after 10 days to continue attacking John Kelly during his cable news appearances, a source familiar with the situation told CNN. So Trump has basically operated the White House like Joaquin Phoenix in Gladiator. He's just sitting there watching people fight each other. Let them fight. It's the new Godzilla movie. Let them fight. He's just enjoying watching the carnage as his top advisors savage one another and people outside the White House beat the crap out of one another, because Trump likes the reality TV feel. He likes the feeling of chaos. Well, bad news. It's hard to get good staffers into a chaotic White House. Why would you give up a good-paying job somewhere else to enter into an administration where the chances that you're going to be ripped by your boss publicly are 1 and 2, the chances that somebody else in the administration is going to rip you publicly are 2 and 3, and the chances that you will leave in ignominious disgrace are probably 85%. Does that sound like a really good bet for you? Now, listen, there are a lot of people in the White House who are thinking about leaving and have been thinking about leaving for a long time. And this is common knowledge in Washington, D.C. circles, because they don't like Trump's chaotic moves here. Again, the swiveling is so fast and so problematic that it's hard to imagine how Trump is either hemmed in by anyone with how his advisors hem him in from making bad decisions. It's also hard to imagine how he's going to get top staffers anymore. Remember, Sam Nunberg was fired, and Sam Nunberg went on TV the other day and made a fool of himself. This administration, the turnover rate is really rapid, and not everybody is being replaced by better people. So here is Donald Trump praising Gary Cohn 2 months ago. Okay, this is not 5 years ago. This is 2 months ago, praising Gary Cohn.
They said, will Gary Cohn continue or remain in the administration? I said, I hope so. Now, if he leaves, I'm going to say, I'm very happy that he left, okay? All right? Come here, Gary.
Everybody's laughing.
Yes, a very big bill. I think he's pretty happy. Yes, I'm happy. How's that?
He's so happy he's leaving 5 seconds later. And so well done, President Trump. And then President Trump came out yesterday at a press conference, and he said that everyone wants to work in his administration. He came out and he said, no, you understand. It's not that we have staff turnover here. It's that everyone wants to be here. This is the place to be.
The White House has tremendous energy. It has tremendous spirit. It is a great place to be working. Many people want every single job. You know, I read, well, oh, gee, maybe people don't want to work for Trump, but believe me, everybody wants to work in the White House. They all want a piece of that Oval Office. They want a piece of the West Wing.
No, this is not a true statement, okay? Sorry to break it to you, Mr. President, but nobody wants to work for you. Okay, no one wants to work for you. The turnover rate in this White House is extraordinary, and it's extraordinary not because you disagree with your top advisors or because your top advisors feel they've gotten the job done. The turnover is extraordinary because people, again, feel like they're being backstabbed every second of the day. You got to feel like your boss has your back. Okay, you do. We have pretty good staff retention here at the Daily Wire, and that's because the people who work here know that in the end, I'll take the hit rather than having my employees take the hit. Now, I rip on my employees on the air sometimes, but they know that I'm joking. Right? Mathis knows that I think he does a really good job and that I have a lot of appreciation for his skill. That's the nicest thing I'm ever going to say publicly about you, Mathis. Everybody else here knows that's the case as well. That's why we're able to retain staff and we have good staff loyalty. Because we all feel like we're pushing in the same direction, we all have the same general principles about American politics, and because people know that we're not going to stand for employees stabbing each other in the back. But Trump likes that style of management. He thinks somehow that this strengthens him. He thinks somehow that this makes his administration better and stronger. It doesn't. And what's worse, it makes the policy worse, because then he brings in people who are able to bend his ear. So if you kiss Trump's ass, there's a very good shot that his policy is going to become your policy. I said right after Anthony Scaramucci left that if I wanted to be White House comms director, I probably could do it just by appearing on Fox and Friends every other morning and praising Trump to the skies. And I guarantee you that within 3 weeks, I get a call from Trump or somebody close to the administration asking if I wanted a job in comms. That's not how you ought to run an administration, particularly if you're supposed to have things that you want to do. And this is part of the problem. The Trump administration ran through large elements of its agenda in the first year. And those agenda elements were quite good. A lot of those agenda items were things that I agreed with, things that I liked. And now Trump is bored. And idle hands are the devil's playground. Now, the fact is that the president doesn't have a lot to do right now, and so he's sticking his thumb into pies that he has long wanted to stick his thumb into. He's always had this bizarre notion that America's trade is thwarting American growth. It's just not true. He's always had this very weird idea that trade is a zero-sum game, that when you and I make a voluntary transaction, we both lost, or that one of us has gained more than the other, or that one of us has gained at the expense of the other. None of that is true. And so you're seeing it in the markets today. You're seeing that the markets are responding to these indicators from the president with a lot of trepidation. The Dow Jones Industrial Average today is down 338 points already. A lot of the commodities markets are down significantly because people understand that Trump is now, on principle, going to raise tariffs. Now, there are a lot of people who are saying today that when it comes to tariffs, everything will be fine. This is not going to have a major impact on the economy. Wilbur Ross was out saying that yesterday. He held a Campbell's soup can on Sunday and claimed that if your price of Campbell's soup goes up only 3 cents, it's not a big deal. Wilbur Ross, what would he know about drinking from a Campbell's soup can? The guy's literally a billionaire. He was on national TV with Campbell's soup cans. He was talking about tariffs a little bit more yesterday and trying to defend Trump's tariff regime, even though there really is no economic basis for it. Again, the industries that are supposed to be protected here are already dominant in American life. They produce 70% of American steel. Their stock has been up for the past several years. That production was up 5% on average last year. Doesn't matter. Trump has this vision that we are going to, he has this bizarre utopian notion that we're going to shut down Google and ramp up Nucor. That all the people who are currently working in tech are going to suddenly be working in the smelting industry. It's just not true. It's just silly. I'm going to explain why this is silly in just a second. First, I want to say thank you to our sponsors over at Zeal.com. So March is National Sleep Awareness Week. Well, it's hard to sleep when your back is all wrapped up, when you've got pain in your shoulders and your neck, and that's why you need to talk to my friends over at Zeal. Zeal.com or the Zeal app, you select the sleep massage. The massage therapist's gender, time, and location for your massage in as little as an hour. You get a 5-star massage in the convenience and comfort of your home. Zeal is truly amazing. I've ordered it for my parents. I've ordered it for my in-laws. I've ordered it for my sister. I've ordered it for my wife. I've used it myself. Zeal's products not only is it great, all the masseuses are licensed and they're all terrific. We've had several masseuses. They are all wonderful. And it is one of the things I say about living in the United States is it's possible to feel like a rich person living in the United States without actually having to be rich. Zeal is one of those apps that makes that possible because there's nothing like having a spa directly in your home, affordably, on demand, and you can do it simply with the press of a button. Zeal is offering you $20 off your first sleep massage with promo code Ben now through March 31st. Okay, these sleep massages help you sleep. They show that it helps you sleep better. It treats insomnia. Again, now through March 31st, Zeal is offering you $20 off your first sleep massage and use that promo code Ben. So go to Zeal.com and remember to use that promo code Ben or the Zeal app. Use promo code Ben. Schedule your sleep massage today. That's Zeal.com. Promo code Ben makes a great gift for family and friends. It makes a great gift for yourself. Check it out, Zeal.com, Zeal.com, and use that promo code Ben. Alrighty, so Wilbur Ross, the Commerce Secretary, who was one of the driving forces behind the new tariff regime, he was on CNBC yesterday trying to defend how this is all going to work. And his defense is, how shall we say, lackluster at best.
He's already indicated a degree of flexibility, I think a very sensible, very balanced degree of flexibility. And I think that you're going to see, as you understand the details of what actually is going to happen, that we're not trying to blow up the world. There's no intention of that. We want to balance our needs to fix the trade deficit with the needs of the economy and the needs of the global economy itself.
Oh, well, that thrilling tale right there from Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross, the most charismatic man outside of Mitch McConnell in Washington, D.C. He must be just fun at parties. And I love that he starts his case by, we're not trying to destroy the world. Oh, that's comforting. Thanks. That's always how I lead off my policy suggestions. I always say, you know, the thing is, you think we're going to destroy the world? We're not really trying to destroy the world. And then when he talks about trade deficits, again, this is just economic ignorance. Trade deficits mean nothing. Venezuela has a trade surplus. It is a very, very poor country. In fact, if you look up at the countries that have trade surpluses right now, it is a pretty good mix of countries that are doing well and countries that are doing poorly. Okay, so if you, I'm going to look up the list right now. The countries with the highest trade surplus in 2016, according to Statista.com, are China, Germany, Russia. Russia's economy has been stagnating in a major way. South Korea, Netherlands, Italy. Italy is a disaster area. Ireland, Taiwan, Singapore. Some of this makes sense because some of these are places where you generate really, really cheap products. China is number one. They have the highest trade surplus. And China's economy has suffered 2 major stock market collapses in the last 4 years. United Arab Emirates, Japan, Saudi Arabia. Okay, are any of these economies comparable to the United States? Are any of these economies really beating the United States? Is Malaysia beating the United States? Is the Czech Republic beating the United States? Of course not. Venezuela, by the way, as I say, also has this. Italy's basically bankrupt as a country. Brazil is having significant economic troubles. They have a trade surplus. Trade surplus means nothing. Trade surplus does not mean anything. The reason being, if you trade and then you spend more dollars than they do on your product, those dollars come back in the form of capital surplus investment. And they invest in American businesses. They buy real estate. So somebody's saying, what if they come in and buy up the entire country? This was the fear that Japan was going to buy up tons of real estate in America in the early 1990s, late 1980s. And it turns out that Japan's economic program was completely busted because they were focused on the trade deficit. In the 1990s, they suffered a significant depression. Again, it's really, really foolish to make economic policy based on these issues. The United States has had trade deficits, it's had trade surplus in our history. There is no correlation between trade deficit with a particular country and that country doing better than we are.